Hey, what you doing over there? Oh, nothing. I'm just looking at some of our old videos, that's all. You know, when the aliens attacked. Ah, pick up any good information on it? Well, yeah, kinda. We did a weapon analysis on this ship, and it looks like it's got a secondary weapon, one that didn't manage to fire. But from this simulation that we're running at the moment, it looks like it has the power to destroy the moon. It's a good thing we blew it up before it managed to charge. Um, Just wondering, why do you sound like me with just a little bit of a different accent? Well, you see, we don't have any other voice actors, so I just got to put on this weird Scottish accent, if it is a Scottish accent. Ah, okay. What? What's that sound? Oh, looks like a red alert's coming in. A red alert? What's happening? It looks like a top 10. Are you serious? We're putting on a red alert for a top 10. Oh yes, a new event that's just happening. A top 10 by the looks of it. A top 10 of the greatest PSVR games that's happened this part of the year. Don't we have a slight problem with that? Our top 10 room hasn't even been constructed yet. Oh, no worries. It's currently under construction at the moment, so we shouldn't have any problems. Are you seriously saying that we're going to do a top 10 when our top 10 room hasn't even been built yet? Well, let me rephrase that. It's currently being built. This is going to be manic. There's going to be scaffolding and construction all over the place. It's not going to look good at all. Well, it's what we currently got. Look, you let the engineers handle the construction of the room and we'll do the top 10 from here, okay? Okay, you're right. Well, let's get on with it. Okay, July is now in full swing and PSVR has been absolutely amazing. It has only been going for a short 3/4 of a year and yet we have seen some wonderful games out there and some amazing experiences. Not only is this a new gaming platform that has revolutionized the industry, but we have also seen new technology and new devices come out to help support this. Game developers are flocking to make games for this. Since its inception, we have seen over 200 developers are currently making for and has already progressed in doing a heck of a lot of games for this thing. In fact, whilst I'm even recording this, I've just brought up a news article saying that 230 developers are currently working on PSVR games, whilst 50 titles are currently in the stores at this moment. So what I would like to do is a top 10 of the greatest games that PSVR has come out to date. Now I must say these are my own personal opinions. I am not affiliated with anyone or these are representative of anyone else's comments or thoughts. These are my own and mine alone. With that being said, let's get on with the PSVR's top 10 most impressive games for 2017. Number 10. For the better part of the launch titles, most I would not consider games, but more of experiences. Great experiences, mind you, but not what I consider a proper game. So what better way to kick off this, my first top 10, with the very first game in PSVR that I considered a true, proper game.
Look at this. My scans indicate that this is a high-risk area, mainly on account of it being a tyrannosaur's nest. Oh my.
Robinson The Journey, the first game that really kicked off the gaming genre for PSVR. Yeah, I know we had lots of other launch titles that a lot of people thought were great, like Eve Valkyrie, Battlezone, and maybe even Batman at a stretch. But none of them is what I thought was a real proper game. None of them thrust a T-Rex in your face and said, "This is your new pet." For me, a proper game must obey a few set rules. It must have a story, it must have gameplay, and definitely must have character character progression. And of course, it's always best played offline because no true proper game is a proper game unless it can be played solo, a single player. I give RPGs a little leeway in this area because there can be some decent RPGs out there. However, Robinson the Journey did all of this in spades, and that's why it earns the first place on my top 10 list as my personal favourite best games of 2017 to date. Number 9. Okay, the next game that I've got up on the list, I haven't actually played myself, but I have played the demo, and I have really loved the demo of this game. In fact, I was so tempted to get it. Unfortunately, I just missed my budget. The next number on this list, number 9, is Wayward Sky.
Whoa!
You've been hit!
Where did that come from?
Hold it steady, Bess!
Hi, Dad.
Hold it steady! We gotta lower her down easy!
Hold on. I'll land it over there.
Bess, hold it steady! No, we're gonna crash! No!
Now, when I played with this on the demo after downloading it from the App Store, I thought it was a really cute type of game that tried to get you involved in all the little toys. I thought it was a bit of an experience at first, but as it went on, it looks like there is a little bit of a storyline going on behind here. The game itself gets you into puzzles and puts you on a little adventure to try and see if you can save your great uncle or granddad. Some old geezer that you apparently are related to, I get. But this one has its own unique little charm. And maybe if I get the money again and get my budget revamped, I will probably be getting this one on my next list. It is in my to-get list, as it looks like it can be a very cool game to play. And I can't wait to try it out properly. Number 8. Speaking of demos, the next one we have isn't even a proper game, but a short, free VR release. It came out to advertise an up-and-coming non-VR game. However, it's here because it is quite an enjoyable short experience. Strapping yourself into a starfighter and launching into the fray. Explosions and space fights and battles. It was awesome, and I do hope that in the future we can have more games that are like this.
Contacted 175.
Welcome to your first flight, Mr. Pilot. Pretty standard stuff on the menu for us. Quick patrol around the flotilla to check for any damage caused by the satellite debris that passed through yesterday. Just follow my instructions and enjoy the view. See you out there.
Retribution sent for combat launch. Cockpit, remote launch. Launch systems engaged. Go 3. 3, 2, 1.
As you can see, the gameplay is very much in the style of Wing Commander. It is carriers, space battles, explosions, missiles flying left, right and centre, and you're just in the middle of a great furball. It is wonderful. It is really enjoyable, and this experience is one that I've played over and over again. This is what, unfortunately, the downside of this was it is very short, and it is demo for another game that wasn't a VR title. However, I would really much like this to be the style of games to come. I really would like to see a space shooter like this. Number 7. Now the next game that goes out is one that I have actually been following for quite a long time before we saw this come out here in England. The demo was out on the Japanese store many months before we even heard a whiff of it here. So I downloaded it and started enjoying it and broadcasted it out for you guys to see. Now it is actually here in the UK store and it's still just as good as it was when I played it on the demo. Then the next act is Ancient Amuletto. This game came out in the Japanese store a long time ago as just a demo, but since it came out here in England and also America, it had a great response. This is in a style of a tower defense style situation, but in this case the difference being is you're the tower. Now I weren't too sure if this would actually work at the beginning, but since this game is one of it seems to have some sort of charm to this that I do quite like. I seem to end up coming back to this game again and again. I think it is just because I love the way that the bow and arrow works. Having to pick up the bow, pull back the arrow and just let loose. There are other styles that this gameplay has, such as the mage that you're currently seeing here. It also has the gunner, where it has two double barrel shotguns that you keep firing and then have to shake off screen to reload. And also it has the puppet master, where you throw down a puppet and it blocks all actions. You can use it to absolutely devastate the things in the area. Each role has their own unique pluses and minuses. For example, the bow and arrow is great for picking off targets one by one. The mage is an explosion, is an area of effect, so it's great for taking down group people. The shotgun, the gunner, is great for getting rid of things that are up close and personal. So if you're right there in front of it, it is a great short range weapon. And as for the puppeteer, you can use that to block off things. My personal favourite was the archer, because it was such an immersive way of playing the game, and I do hope that more games come out with this sort of style of gameplay. Number 6. Now this next particular game I wasn't going to put out for various reasons, but I knew that I would actually be lynched by you guys out there in the comment section if I didn't at least try to put this somewhere in here, because this game seems to be so well received. I was originally going to be using this slot for a Star Wars entry, but considering we've already got Jackal Assault on here, I've saved this spot for Arizona Sunshine.
Oh, man. Whoa. Good morning there, ugly. Well, alright. I guess I'll do the nice thing here, Fred. Put you out of your misery. Locked and loaded. Guess this is it, Fred. Damn. Well, hey, I'm sorry things didn't work out between us, buddy. But, I'm out of here. What can I say?
Hey Joe, want to play another zombie shooter style? Hey Joe, want to play another zombie style shooter? Hey Joe, want to play a zombie style shooter game? As you may have guessed, Arizona Sunshine is a VR version of the zombie style apocalypse adventure game that is currently out, and well, like the actual game itself, these zombie style games are flooding our stores and have now become a VR hit sensation as well. This game was once very popular on the HI5 and also the Oculus Rift, but now it has seen a port into the PlayStation VR world. The port has had some problems with with shaky motion controllers, but apart from the controller aspects, this game is still quite a decent game to play. I know that I may have knocked it down a peg or two because of certain aspects. However, that being said, This zombie-style apocalypse game has still got the benefits of being one of the better games that are currently out there at the moment, and is one that I've been enjoying for a little bit.
Seven.
Number 5. This entry had a bit of a cult following long before it even became a VR title, and when the VR title hit, everyone was clamoring for this. This was one of those that if you were a fan of the series, a must-have to have in your arsenal. Everyone knew this game and everyone loved this game, and the game is Psychonauts and the Rhombus of Ruin.
I'm getting something.
Is it my father? Can you see him?
No, not yet. Something is strange about this signal.
Everyone, focus your thoughts on Raz and Grand Head Zonato.
Together we can connect them. Maury, will you help us?
I'll cover you from here. This is where I do my best concentrating.
I see something. It's a strange room.
Look around for clues, Rasputin.
If we can figure out where this room is, we can fly the jet straight there.
But first, tell me if my dad's okay.
On it. So, this is how it feels to be the button master. They've got Truman's head in a giant steel ball.
They cut off his head?
No, it's attached to his body. It's just stuck in a big round,
Psycho-isolation bonnet, I presume. But what are they using for an anti-catalyst?
As I said before, Psychonauts has been a cult classic for a long time, and the VR interpretation of this game, or this genre as we could say, has been long anticipated by a lot of people for some time. This game has done its game real good justice. When we get in there, it is an immersion. You don't need to know what the previous storyline is. You just know that, hey, you got psychic powers. You've had all these powers, and then yeah, they take them away from you, of course, because like I said, with these series, you've got to start from scratch, but it kind of builds you up. This game has been easy to play and a real joy to follow and watch as it progresses. Now this game, as I said, it is a sort of a point and click style adventure game where you have to find each part, unlock each puzzle, solve each problem and move on to the next area. So, for anyone who is a fan of the series, this is a great virtual addition to the genre, and anyone who is new to this, a good launching platform to dive right in. Number 4. Now, you guys know this one was coming. It's been on everyone's lips for months before it came out, and when it did, it was a hit sensation. Although I consider Robinson the first real game on PSVR, this was the first mainstream AAA developer game and was an instant success.
I know. That's right. All are welcome. So, Mama, is that you? Zoe? Come look. Come see her gift. Look at all the pretties my little girl is giving me. Kiss me, lover.
What's from him? Get to the garage. Get to the road. Go now.
killing me! The pretties my little girl is giving me!
Some would argue saying that the Resident Evil 7 is just another zombie-style shooter. But those who have said this have never actually played the game. Res 7 is a return back to basics and a return to their original style when the game was good. Res 5 and 6 basically killed this franchise and made a mockery out of a once beloved game. However, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, this game has literally risen itself from the dead and has put the Resident back into Resident Evil. Number 3. This next game on the list was another eagerly anticipated game. We waited for it, it got delayed, we waited it for some more, it got delayed again, but eventually when it came out, it did not disappoint. It has been loved by everyone who is a Trekkie or Trekker and has played this game. This is one of those games that allow you to live out your fantasies, and that game is...
My crew is assembled, and we're preparing to disembark on our expedition to the trench. Before we depart, however, Starfleet Command has asked us to complete one final exercise to confirm the Aegis'
catch you later.
mission ahead, and undoubtedly to test the readiness of the captain and crew.
Love you. See you later.
What's all this? I don't know what half this stuff is.
We have a message incoming from deep
Press square, you can thingy. That's K7, that's where the tribbles are. Answer hail.
Opening channel.
Aegis, we have a freighter coming into dock, and we've had a little trouble lately with smugglers trafficking invasive species. On your way out, I think it'd be best for everyone if you could just verify the ship isn't carrying any wildlife.
Okay, verify the ship, please.
Who does that? I don't know what this means. Shields are down.
Scan the Virginia for smuggled wildlife, please.
Got it.
Star Trek has been eagerly anticipated by so many people, not just because you get to take control of a starship, but this is Star Trek. All the fans of Star Trek, both young and old, have always wanted to be on the bridge of the Enterprise. This game concept isn't new, however. In fact, it dates back all the way back to 1980. The fact that technology has only now caught up and you can now be put into a virtual environment where you can stand on the bridge of the Enterprise whilst Klingons are trying their best to introduce you to space vacuum whilst a distress beacon is asking for help and the sun's about to explode. This whole new virtual world, or this in virtual worlds, as you blast through space, just puts this game on a whole new level of awesomeness. So sit back, relax, full power to engines, charge the warp cores, and set course for the second star on the right, and straight on till morning. Engage.
Towards it.
Sorry, warp
yeah.
Warp cores have disengaged because they didn't get it done in time. I'll wait until I'll wait until
charge me if you.
Sorry.
All right, I found the steering now.
Let me know when you want
to charge the warp cores back up, please.
Thank you.
Warp coils charging.
Charging. 7, 6, 5.
So can you see the thing on the view screen that's showing you the direction you need to turn in?
So do I need to turn left or right?
Yeah. Left. Follow the direction of those yellowy thingies.
There you go.
There you go.
Alright.
Right, now keep us lined up with that. Oh, too far.
Oh, where will we send us? Punch it! Coming in at number 2 was one of the biggest things to hit PSVR to date. It is a complete game changer for the way we will be playing first-person shooters from here on in. Because not only was this a great game, but a launching platform for a new device, the AIM controller, which is a peripheral we have been sorely needing for so long. Number 2.
Wanderer, please maintain your position and prepare for manual boarding. I guess we're taking a walk.
Roger, holding position.
Okay. I'm opening the outer hatch.
Tethers are attached.
Looking good. So your name, it's, seriously Dr. Moon?
Yeah, but for all the playground teasing, look where I am right now. God. Look at it.
60 yards out.
Wait. The hell is that?
Pilgrim, this is Eva. Are you seeing this?
+5. 6 on.
Oh my god. Pilgrim, do you copy? Do you see this?
We gotta move.
What is it doing?
We gotta move now. Wanderer, open your outer airlock.
Okay, let's move!
Eva, cut your tether! Cut it now! Cut it! Boosters, full power! Wanderer, don't leave us!
Brace for impact. Brace for impact. Brace for impact. Brace for impact. Brace for impact.
Ouch.
This game starts off, as you can see, being stranded on an unknown world in an unknown part of the galaxy where your situation is, well, unknown. And your job simply is, well, to survive. Yeah, I know it sounds like a simple enough matter, but when you've got thousands upon thousands of spider crab monsters that want to eat your face of all different sizes, from small ones that you can stamp under your feet to giant ones that want to squash you under theirs, things can get a little tense, hectic, chaotic, you name it, we got it. Now the weapons and enemies are quite limited in variation, but when it comes to it, all you really want is things to kill and things to kill things with. This game opens up a nice rich storyline about being stranded on the planet, trying to find the other survivors and going down deep dark routes. That is the origin of the planet you're currently on. However, I don't really need to talk too much about this game. Just look at this and see what you think for yourself. Now, I mean, look at that. Is that not a game that you want to play? Is that not how first-person shooters are supposed to be? Do you not want to be able to grab your rifle in real world and just do this? I mean, come on. Just look at this.
Oh.
Whilst we're looking at that, I want to talk a little bit about the aim controller. The whole thing this platform is based around. Up until now, we've only had the basic dual shock controllers and the move controllers. But the thing is, for what the move controller's namesake is, it doesn't allow you to do one simple thing: move. That is why we have needed this device, but without realizing it, we really do need the aim controller, because the aim controller allows you, it's got two thumbsticks. It can allow you to look around with the back thumb, and with the right thumb allows you to move forward, back, left, right, basically just as you would normally move in a first-person shooter. The aim controller doesn't allow you to do any of this. The aim controller just allows you to look at a place and teleport to that location. It just doesn't work. It's not useful for first-person shooters. Sorry, did I say aim controller? I meant the move controller. Now, for those that have used the motion controllers before, there is a little third device, a little motion control that allows you to move around, but at the risk of losing one of the motion controllers. But still, even with that, it doesn't amount up to what the aim controller can do. I mean, because the aim controller, you've got the reload buttons on the side. You've got L1, you've got L2, R1, R2. You've got basically all the functionalities of a dual shock controller in a gun. Now, some stores out there, a little bit of a warning, some stores out there, before the aim controller came out, the stores were saying, no, you don't need the aim controller. We've got this little bit of plastic that we can give you that you can put your move controller in, and it will be just as good as the aim controller. And whenever I heard a person at the store say that, I stopped listening to them, because they do not know what you're talking about. Trust me, this aim controller is what we're going to be needing for the future. It is what we're going to be needing for first-person shooter games, and I think it is definitely a must, because there are so many games that are currently in development for it, and also quite a few that are already out. That's being said, and hopefully you've been enjoying watching all this wondrous, glorious shooting up gallery around in the background. This has been Farpoint. Now, coming in for number one, this was a very hard choice for me to make. Originally I was going to put Farpoint up here at number one, with Resident Evil 7 being a close second. But the reason that they got their place rather than the number one spot was for simple reasons: replayability. Now, I mean, with Resident Evil 7, once you knew where all the jump scares were, that's it. You couldn't really play the game over again. I mean, it was a nice 10 hours playthrough, but then there wasn't much else after that. They did get a few DLCs, which were great, but not much replayability. And the same thing with Farpoint. That is a great game, but once where you know what's going and the storyline's done, there wasn't much else to it apart from a couple of DLCs and challenge maps. Now, this next game has been one that I have spent more hours than any other game put together. It has been one of the it is in the top reason, for the simple reason that I have been able to play it over and over again. It's a simple game that's got no storyline, no gameplay, pretty much nothing. All it is just 6 to 8 people sitting around in a circle trying to find out who the werewolf is.
What's up? Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
We're just saying how much you love him. Yeah, Matt Damon. We're just saying how much you love him.
All right.
Ready? Ready?
Ready up. Ready up.
Yeah, okay.
Matt Damon.
These are the roles that may be present in this match. This match, you are a villager.
A villager. Matt Damon. Why does that name sound familiar? Pretty useless with names.
You'd better start
really
making
new, guys.
friends
Go
if you
easy.
want to make it through the night.
It's no time.
So, what were you looking at begin with an M? It's gonna drive me nuts all day.
Oh, the moon.
The moon. Oh, you guys were playing you guys were playing the I Spy game.
Were you looking at Max this whole time?
Well, at least I know something got kicked off, hasn't it? Yeah, hi.
Wait. Oh, there it is.
A villager.
Oh, Christ. I'll kick you if you only 6 players.
You okay there, Wonder Swan?
What?
What?
That was my first game.
Yeah, so what are you?
Oh, come on, no it's not. No it's not. Stop your bull.
I'm the astrologer. I'm the astrologer. Sorry, it's my first game. Took some while.
Alright,
So-
cool. I'm a gossip.
I am a villager.
I'm the tracker.
Okay, and what? And you are the drifter, are you? Drifter?
Or the deviant.
Yep.
And what?
Guess it.
Okay.
Okay, and what's your drift? I'm kind of curious.
Catch my drift.
Let's catch your drift, mate. Catch my drift. Okay, so...
First piece of gossip said that he was a drifter. Second piece says that tell him to maybe a deviant.
Alright, so... Okay.
So it's half then. So therefore it could be the Wonder Swan.
On one, I vote on the other, and then we can go Wonder Swan. Then
I'm pointing Zexy as.
Did you even use your astrology?
Yeah, I told you already.
I pointed Zexy as ringleader.
The tracker is present.
Alright.
The tracker is present.
Christ, that was like 10 hours ago.
This sounds like two werewolves. We're just gonna go Wonder Swan then.
This sounds like two werewolves confirming each other.
Oh my god.
Because I appointed Tyler, he said he appointed XY, and then if that cancels out...
I really wish that drifter didn't leave
If
because
he's a
that
tracker,
was.
he can't appoint.
Well, she's a deviant.
Oh, by the way, Valk, just to let you know, I've appointed you as ringleader.
Wait.
Okay. Okay. So I'm probably gonna go Wonder Swan.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I will say that I'm still going with Valek.
Villagers disagreed over who to select as a ring.
Especially so we're both clear. So now it's you.
Oh.
It's you. It's you.
Choose someone to be
We'll go for Swan.
I know you will. Because you're wasn't perfect.
No.
I know that for sure. I know that for certain.
You do?
Disappointed a ring.
Yes. What?
Look at Wonder Swan and press X.
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't realise my TV was up.
Yeah,
that's how it
clear.
works.
We appointed, cancel each other out.
No,
Everybody use gossip.
Actually, my TV isn't up.
Yes, I
Whoa.
voted.
Would you vote for me?
I vote.
Now, the results.
Kill Turning. Oh, you might give her a deviant.
You're both dying.
Okay, let's go on.
No, you didn't.
No.
Oh, you...
Jesus Christ.
In for the werewolves.
I really wish that drifter didn't leave, because they would have told us which one of you guys would have been it.
He was a wolf. He was a wolf. The drifter was a wolf.
Was he?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sakes. Oh, damn it. Oh, Will's really screwed over on that one.
So that's why my gossip was that he was a drifter, because I could confirm him.
Okay.
Sorry I had to censor a lot of that, but when it comes to an open forum, there can be quite a lot of swearing. Now, like I said, the reason that I gave this game #1 spot outside of any other game that was on here, outside of Farpoint, outside of Star Trek Bridge Crew even, or even Resident Evil 7, the reason this got #1 spot here was the sheer amount of hours that I've played on this game. I seem to be coming back over and over to this game. Each new game is a new experience and different styles of play. And no two games are ever the same. This game is about lying. It's about deceiving. It's about manipulating people. Trust no one, because the person that could be your friend in this game could be your enemy in the next game. With all that being said, there is one thing that this game has done that no other game I have ever played has ever done before, and that is create a decent social committee. Swearing withstanding, of course. With the social interactions of most games out there, like, let's say, Eve Valkyrie, you just go into an arena and blow everyone to pieces like a meat grinder. With, let's say, RPG games like World of Warcraft, you don't really get much except for when you start forming guilds. However, here you're thrown into a random 6 to 8 people contest, and you just start getting a rapport with everyone. You start having fun, you start talking about things, you start enjoying the conversation. And because that is one thing that makes this game so great, it's because this game is not played in the game, this game is played in your mind. You play your game with the minds of other people, those that you interact with, those that you have fun with, and this makes this game a unique game which is so enjoyable and changes every single time. And because of that uniqueness, that no other game has done anything like this, that is why this game has got the #1 spot, for not only its uniqueness but for the sheer amount of hours that we play. You can end up playing this game over and over again and not just realise the hours pass by. Okay, a slight disclaimer there. There are other social games that have come out. Take Star Trek Bridge Crew, for instance, which has actually just came out quite recently in comparison to most other things. And you've got Sports Bar and Dreadnought that has come out as well, where they do have some social interactions. But the thing is, with Werewolves Within, it takes that social interaction to a different level. And like I said, that level that it takes it to is the one that's quite unique in the style of gameplays. More or less going back to the old playing the board games rather than playing the computer games. And there we have it. Thanks very much for watching this, my very first top 10. I do hope that you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed creating this. Please remember that these were my own opinion and nothing official. However, if there is anything that you think should be here, please leave a comment down below. Also, any ideas for future top 10s or things that you would like to see here, please also let me know. With that all being said, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys out there.